Let's talk about something that doesn't get said enough. In a world that urges us to be open, to share, to just tell them everything, there is another truth, a quieter, wiser one. Some things are yours and yours alone. See, we're taught that love means transparency, that trust means full disclosure. But here's the thing, privacy isn't secrecy. Privacy is power. Privacy is wisdom. And privacy is knowing that not every thought, every fear, every detail of your past needs to be handed over like a gift to someone who may not even know how to hold it. Now, don't get me wrong, love is built on trust, but trust is built on discernment. And part of discernment is knowing what is truly yours to keep. Your deepest insecurities, the ones that whisper to you in the quiet moments, those deserve a safe space, not just any space, because the wrong hands can twist them into something harmful. Your financial independence, that's not just a number in an account, it's your freedom, your choices, your future. And while partnership can mean shared responsibilities, it should never mean blind dependence. Your past, the things you've healed from, some stories belong only to you. Not every chapter needs a public reading. You get to choose what is sacred. And then there's your intuition, that quiet, steady voice inside you, the one that says, this is not for him to know. Trust that voice. It is wiser than any outside advice, stronger than any pressure to just be open. So here's my invitation to you. Own your privacy, not as a wall, but as a boundary. Not as a defense, but as a form of self-respect. Because the most powerful thing you can do is not just know what to share, but know what to keep. Vulnerability is often spoken about as a strength, and it absolutely is. To open up, to share your truth, to stand before someone and say, this is me fully and completely, takes courage. It requires the kind of bravery that isn't about standing tall, but about letting yourself be seen, flaws and all. But here's the thing no one tells you enough. Vulnerability should never be reckless. It should never be given away freely without discernment. Because while vulnerability is powerful, it is also delicate. And in the wrong hands, it can be used against you. Think about it. When you open up to someone, you're giving them a piece of yourself. Your fears, your hopes, your struggles, your past. These are not just words, they are parts of your soul. And not everyone deserves access to that level of intimacy. Trust is not a right, it is earned. It is built brick by brick through actions, consistency, and time. It is not something that should be given simply because someone asks for it or because society tells you that good women share everything. Let me ask you this. If you had a precious, fragile piece of glass, one that held memories, history, emotion, would you hand it to just anyone? Or would you wait to see if they handle things with care, if they respect what they hold, if they are worthy of carrying something so valuable? This is what vulnerability is. It is sacred. It is yours. And just because you are strong enough to be open does not mean that everyone is deserving of that openness. So before you share your deepest thoughts, before you pour out your heart, ask yourself, has this person earned my trust? Have they shown me through their actions that they will treat my vulnerability with the tenderness and respect it deserves? Have they proven that they are not just curious, but truly capable of holding my truth without judgment or harm? Because vulnerability is not about proving your love, your loyalty, or your openness. It is about offering something valuable to someone who has demonstrated that they will protect it. And if they have not earned that trust, you are under no obligation to share. Keeping certain parts of yourself private is not a betrayal of love. It is an act of self-respect. So be vulnerable, but be wise. Give your trust only to those who have shown through both words and actions that they are worthy of receiving it. There's a space inside of you that only you truly understand, a place where your fears live, where your insecurities whisper, where the stories of your past still echo. It is a fragile, sacred space, one that has been shaped by your experiences, your wounds, and your triumphs. And the truth is, not everyone should be allowed to enter that space. We live in a world that tells us to be open, to be an open book, to share every thought, every fear, every moment of self-doubt, as if transparency is the ultimate proof of love. But here's something that often goes unsaid. Your fears and insecurities are not for public consumption. They are not meant to be handed over to just anyone. Think about the things that make you feel the most vulnerable, the quiet worries that keep you up at night, the parts of yourself that you sometimes struggle to accept, the doubts that creep in when no one else is watching. These are not flaws. They are simply pieces of your humanity, and they deserve to be protected, not exposed carelessly. Because here's the hard truth. Not everyone will know what to do with your fears. Not everyone will treat your insecurities with kindness. Some will try, but they won't understand. Others, whether intentionally or not, will use them against you. A careless remark, an inconsiderate joke, or even a dismissive attitude can turn something deeply personal into a wound that cuts even deeper. And then there are those who see vulnerability as a tool, a way to manipulate, control, or weaken. These are the people who, if given access to your deepest insecurities, will store them like weapons, waiting for the moment to use them when it benefits them the most. This is why your fears and insecurities must be handled with caution. This does not mean you should never open up, but who you open up to matters. Before you share your fears, ask yourself, has this person proven that they will treat my emotions with care? Have they shown me that they can listen without judgment? Have they earned the right to know this part of me? Because true intimacy is not about how much you share, it's about who you trust enough to share with. There are people who will hold your fears gently, who will remind you of your strength when you forget, who will create a safe space where your insecurities do not define you. These are the ones who deserve to hear your truths. But if someone has not shown you that they are capable of handling your heart with care, if they dismiss your feelings, belittle your worries, or twist your fears into something that serves their own interests, they do not deserve access to your most vulnerable self. Your fears and insecurities are sacred because they are a part of your journey. They are a part of what makes you who you are. But they are not a gift you are required to give to just anyone. So guard them, honor them, share them only with those who have earned your trust. And never let anyone make you feel guilty for protecting what is yours. There's a kind of freedom that comes with knowing you can stand on your own. A deep, unshakable confidence that comes not from what others can provide for you, but from what you can provide for yourself. Your financial independence is not just about money, it's about power, security, and the ability to live life on your own terms. From a young age, many women are taught, sometimes subtly, sometimes directly, that financial matters are best left to men. That a husband, a boyfriend, or a father should be the one to handle the bills, the investments, the long-term financial planning, that it's okay to take a backseat when it comes to money because someone else will take care of it. But let's be clear, depending entirely on someone else financially is not security, it's a risk. Why financial independence matters: when you have your own money, you have choices. You are not trapped in a situation because you can't afford to leave. You are not silenced because you are financially dependent on someone else. You are not at the mercy of another person's decisions about your future. Financial independence means you can walk away from a toxic relationship. If a man disrespects you, mistreats you, or betrays your trust, You don't have to stay because you have nowhere else to go. You get to make decisions for yourself. You don't have to ask for permission to buy something, travel, or invest in your own dreams. You are prepared for the unexpected. Life is unpredictable. Divorces happen, jobs are lost, emergencies arise. Being financially independent means you are ready for whatever comes your way. Money is more than just numbers, it's power. Some people say money doesn't buy happiness, and sure, money alone doesn't guarantee fulfillment. But do you know what money does buy? Options, freedom, safety, peace of mind. It allows you to make decisions from a place of confidence rather than desperation. Have you ever seen a woman who stays in a relationship that no longer serves her simply because she cannot afford to leave? Or a woman who sacrifices her dreams because she has to rely on someone else to fund them? That is not empowerment, that is limitation. When you earn your own money, when you know how to manage it wisely, you are in control of your life. No one can use money to manipulate you. No one can dictate your choices based on what they are willing or unwilling to provide for you. Protect your financial privacy. Being independent doesn't mean you have to hide money or keep secrets from a partner, but it does mean being smart. Not every financial detail needs to be shared, especially in the early stages of a relationship. If a man asks too many questions about your income, savings, or assets early on, that is a red flag. Ask yourself, does this person respect my financial boundaries? Do they see me as an equal partner, or do they expect me to be financially dependent on them? Are they financially responsible themselves, or are they looking for someone to bail them out? Invest in yourself. Financial independence isn't just about earning money. It's about keeping it, growing it, and using it to build the life you deserve. Save. Build an emergency fund that is yours and yours alone. Invest. Learn about wealth building, whether it's through stocks, real estate, or starting your own business. Educate yourself. Don't rely on someone else to manage your money. Understand where your money is going and how to make it work for you. Final thought, your money, your power. There is nothing wrong with accepting generosity from a partner, with sharing expenses, or even allowing someone to support you in a healthy way. But never mistake financial dependence for love. True love exists without control, and true independence comes when you know deep in your heart that no matter what happens, you will be okay because you have taken care of yourself. So stand in your financial power, earn your own money, protect your financial privacy, and never ever give up your independence because it is one of the strongest things you will ever own. There is a common belief that honesty means saying everything that's on your mind, that if you love someone, you should share every thought, every worry, every frustration, no matter how small. That real intimacy means full disclosure at all times. But here's the truth, not every thought or feeling needs to be spoken. This doesn't mean you should be dishonest. It doesn't mean you should suppress your emotions or pretend to be someone you're not. What it does mean is that wisdom lies in knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. Words have power. Use them wisely. Words shape relationships. They can build love, trust, and understanding, but they can also create tension, misunderstandings, and unnecessary conflict. Just because a thought crosses your mind in a moment of frustration doesn't mean it needs to be verbalized. Just because you feel something intensely in the moment doesn't mean you have to act on that feeling. Think about it. How many times have you said something in anger that you later regretted? How many times have you let words spill out that in hindsight didn't really need to be said at all? There is a difference between expressing yourself in a meaningful way and talking just to fill space, to seek validation, or to unload emotions that might be better processed internally first. Your thoughts and feelings are valid, but not always productive. To share every emotion you feel is valid. Every passing thought has a reason for existing, but that doesn't mean every single one should be voiced. Some thoughts are fleeting, some feelings change, some emotions are best processed privately before being discussed with someone else. For example, moments of doubt. We all have insecurities, but constantly voicing them to a partner can create unnecessary pressure or make them feel like they have to fix something. Past relationships. Just because you're thinking about an ex or comparing your partner to someone from your past doesn't mean you need to say it out loud. Some things are better left unspoken, minor annoyances. You don't need to voice every irritation you feel in the moment. Some things are worth letting go. Unfiltered thoughts. Not every thought is fully formed. Sometimes what we think in the moment isn't even what we truly believe deep down. Before speaking, ask yourself, is this something that will help or hurt? Is this just a passing emotion, or is it something that truly needs to be addressed? Am I sharing this because it's important or because I feel the need to fill silence? Silence can be a form of strength. There is wisdom in silence. Not everything needs a response. Not every situation requires your immediate input. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is hold back, reflect, and choose your words carefully. Silence allows you to observe. When you don't rush to speak, you learn more about the people around you. You notice things you might have missed. Silence protects your energy. Engaging in every debate, defending yourself at every turn, or explaining your emotions constantly can be exhausting. Silence gives you time to think. Not every reaction needs to be immediate. Some things are better said after reflection, when emotions have settled and clarity has set in. You control your narrative when you speak. You are giving people insight into your world. That's a privilege, not a right. Not everyone needs access to your deepest thoughts and emotions. Some things are yours and yours alone. You don't have to justify yourself to everyone. You don't have to explain every thought that runs through your mind. And in relationships, true intimacy isn't about oversharing. It's about knowing what truly matters and sharing with intention. So the next time you feel the urge to speak, pause, ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this helpful? Is this something that truly needs to be said? Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. There's a voice inside of you that doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention, it doesn't fight for space, but it's there, always. A quiet, knowing presence, a gut feeling, a whisper of wisdom that speaks when something isn't right, when something feels off, when you just know without knowing how you know. This is your intuition, and it is one of the most powerful tools you have. It exists to protect you, to guide you, and perhaps most importantly, to tell you when to hold back. The power of intuition. Your intuition is not paranoia. It is not fear. It is not insecurity. It is a deeply ingrained awareness built from experience, observation, and instinct. And yet too often, women are taught to ignore it. We are told to be nice, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to explain away our gut feelings with logic, to justify someone's behavior, even when everything inside us is screaming something isn't right. But here's the truth. Your intuition doesn't owe anyone an explanation. If you feel like something is off, that is reason enough to pause, to take a step back, to hold back. When your intuition tells you to hold back, your intuition knows when to withhold your trust. Not everyone deserves full access to you. Your time, your emotions, your secrets, your vulnerability. If something inside you feels hesitant about opening up to someone, listen to that hesitation. Trust is something that should be earned, not given freely just because someone asks for it. Your intuition knows when to stay silent. Not every thought or feeling needs to be spoken. There are moments when silence is more powerful than words. If something tells you that now is not the time to speak, that revealing too much could be used against you, that the person in front of you has not proven they are worthy of your truth, hold back. Your intuition knows when to walk away. Have you ever been in a situation where everything looked fine on the surface, but deep inside something felt wrong? Maybe it was a relationship that seemed perfect, but something told you it wasn't meant for you. Maybe it was a conversation that felt manipulative, even though no one said anything directly harmful. Maybe it was a deal that looked good on paper, but something inside warned you against it. That feeling, that's your intuition protecting you. Ignoring your intuition comes at a cost.